Great. Thanks for coming to this quick video. Thanks for some really smart reviewer comments. We have upgraded the DIDAR SCP QC to have graphical user interface. So this video is just going to show you how to use that, which if you're a Windows user, is very, very easy. You just want to double click on this. If you do happen to have a matplotlib installed on your PC, you can use 104, which will generate some nifty little plots, so you don't have to just take your text files and make your own graphs. But since I can't figure out how to do that on a Macintosh, I can't show you that here through this interface, and I'm going to use the GUI version 1.3. You can just download that here. And again, if you're on Windows, you just download that, unzip it, and then what you'll want to do is go into the folder itself. Once it's unzipped, you should be able to double click on DIDAR SCP QC _GUI, and it will execute the program. What I've just discovered on Macintoshes, because they're incredible devices, is that I can't automatically execute this. I do have to go into an IDE program, which I use Spider with Anaconda. And so I just have to load that text document. And then I just need to execute the program. In both cases, what will pop up is the actual GUI itself. This is the same DIDAR SCP QC program that's detailed in the other YouTube video, which you can find at the bottom of the GitHub page. But in general, this will just allow you to just execute it without having to modify some text here. So in general, you want to navigate to the folder where your .raw files or your .mgf files are, and you want to select that folder. It will be helpful here if you've got, if there's a study that you're interested in, just make sure it's in all the thermo.raw files or MGF files from any other vendor instruments are all in the same folder on their own. And then you just want to put in the mass tolerance you're thinking of. If honestly, 0.005 on a TOF, unless it's doing an auto calibration program, is probably just a little too strict. Maybe you want to go 0.01 on that. That leaves that up to you. But for any Orbitrap instrument, probably 0.002 is probably, it may not even be strict enough. But and so that would be the reporter ions you're looking at. Now here you want to put in your minimum number of diagnostic ions. So the DIDAR SCP QC program counts the number of spectra that have the reporter ions that you're interested in. So if I'm doing a 10-plex experiment, for example, and I've got single cells in channels 127, 8, 9, 130, 131, 132, and I want to just QC this and say, okay, I only want to keep spectra that have a minimum of, say, 3 good reporter ions in them, then I would put in 3 in this box, right? So the next thing you want to do is select your reporter file. And that is just the same text document. There's a bunch of them on the GitHub. And in fact, if you download this example thing, what you'll find is that, let's go into Finder, that there's one here. And so we use, because we're using TOFs in the lab, here we've got the TMT 126 through 134. In most cases, I don't want to count. Now, if I'm just using this for QC and I want to see how often 126 is typically R blank. I want to see how many spectra pop up where there's measurable signal in the blank, then I would leave this here. If I'm actually using it for filtering and I want MGFs that are just clean spectra where there's no signal in the blank, but there's lots of signal in the single cell channels, then I'll delete this out. And this is just 126 to 134 because when we wrote this program, 135 wasn't out, but there's a text document here with a whole Pro 18 that has the 135 tag mass. So you just want to reference that file. Then if you want to select glycoreporters, there's text here. If you don't want to, just reference a text file here that's blank and it will be fine. Since Connor's doing his PhD somewhere else and I don't know how to fix that, so I can just turn off the glyco. I'm just leaving it on here. You just need to insert a blank file. And then you just go ahead and QC your files. You'll if you're not running through the IDE, there's probably nothing you're going to see running in the background. What we do know for sure is that this runs much faster on a solid state drive, and the your diagnostic text file that contains all your QC data will be inputted into that file. It will take the name of your file itself and it will append the word diagnostic to the front of it. And then for the filtered raw files, which only contain, for example, the spectra that have at least 3 diagnostic or 3 TMT channels in them from single cells, those will be appended with the word filtered in front of the name of your file. And that's it. Yeah. So we tried to make this easier so you don't have to do any tech stuff. Didn't seem to work all the way for Macintosh users. But if you're your standard proteomics user who's using Windows, because that's what all our stuff runs on, you should be able to download this, double click it, point it where you need it to go, and hit QC your files, and you're done. So that's it. And thank you for your interest in our little QC program for single cell proteomics. Thanks.